Welcome back. 8:49 with Today Wellness. So as the calendar flips to January, about a quarter of Americans are vowing to take an entire month off of alcohol, an alcohol break. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the flavors of wine, beer, and cocktails, because the non-alcoholic beverages taste delicious. So let's navigate our way through the many options. Sommelier Vanessa Price is with us. Hi.
Good morning.
So,
Happy New Year.
So the taste is really on point for a lot of these, right?
So that's kind of what's been really incredible to see. So from 2022 to 23, there was a 29% increase in consumption in the U.S. of non-alcoholic beverages that mimic the idea of alcoholic beverages. And it's expected to increase by another 500 million in 24. The numbers aren't final yet, but that's where they're thinking it's going to land. And a lot of it has to do with how seriously companies are taking it now, right? In terms of their packaging, their branding, the quality of the product
look
that you're
at this
drinking.
bottle right here.
Would you not think that that was champagne if you were
looks
just looking
great.
at it?
Yeah,
so this is the odd Bird Blong to Blanc. This is coming, which means 100% Chardonnay. So basically, it's made as a bubbly, and then it's de-alcoholized. Okay. So if you want to be out and enjoy something this, if you're celebrating, like, for example, my birthday's in January. So if I want to do a dry January.
When is your birthday? What day?
The 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. But if I wanted to do a dry January, this would be a perfect way for me to celebrate and not have to give up on the challenge.
That's tasty.
Very mild.
It's not too sweet.
Yeah, not at all.
Now, this looks like just a regular Sauvignon Blanc.
Well, so it's a Riesling, but but same thing, right? Exactly.
So
it just looks like
wishful thinking.
Yeah. Well, but it is very dry. So this is bone dry, no sugar, but the same sort of idea. You would literally just think it looks like it's in a bottle. This is actually a really serious producer in Germany, right? Right? And you wouldn't, I mean, if I didn't tell you there was no alcohol, it might take you a second to go, where's the...
and it would pair well with food if you're eating to balance out something you're eating.
So if that's part of your rituals, a glass of wine with your meal, it's a great way to go. If you want to go the canned route, some people are really into canned wine these days. This is from Proxies. This is their bubbly rosé. So you could do it straight out of the can. You could pour it into a glass.
That's really delicious.
Right? Bright,
this is like
yummy.
A juice.
Wow.
Yeah. It's hard to think of it as more
Could you add
than
alcohol if you wanted to?
You could. That is, as we get into some of these down there's definitely a few different options.
It's 40
there.
calories. The calorie count is right. What do you think of canned wines? Are you a fan?
I'm a fan of canned wine that are made responsibly, meaning like the way they're farmed, et cetera. Kind of like we were talking about the skincare. It's important in the wine too. Okay, so if you're a Spritz fan,
looks like an Aperol.
Yeah, looks like a Spritz. So if you're a fan of an Aperol Spritz, I would go with the DeSoy Aperitivo. If you're a fan of a Campari Spritz, which is a little bit more bitter, I would go with the Casamara Super Classico.
So literally, it's very refreshing,
right? And if you wanted to, at the end of your dry January challenge, you have some of these left. You could add a little alcohol if you wanted to.
Get back on the wagon.
Yeah.
So this one's the drier version.
So this one's a little bit more bitter. This one's a little bit more sweet, but sweet is relative. It's not super sweet.
Okay, let's talk beer.
Let's talk beer. So if you are a beer fan, I actually think this one's kind of a fun story. So Biro, this is Tom Holland's company. Yeah, and he actually created it after doing a dry January.
Right.
And then decided that he was going full sober to do it full time. So this is his Kingston Pils. So if you're looking for something, it tastes like a Pilsner, right? So I don't know if you all are beer ladies, or we might be pushing the limit there, but
I mean, I like
Sam Adams,
like kind of beers. Like,
okay, there you go. And from Sam Adams, we have their Just the Haze IPA. So if you like something that's a little bit hoppier.
That's actually nice,
right?
I like that.
So if you're at a game or you're home with friends, right?
Really
this is good.
Yeah. So it all comes down to the styles that you enjoy. And then we've got the batched cocktail. So this is all pre-batched in the glass bottle or the can. The first that you've got here, this is from Curious. I know, right? It's like, but it's so weird that there's no alcohol here. Just add ice. Just add ice. And it's 2 servings in a bottle. This is from Curious Elixirs. They're number 2. It's a spicy pineapple margarita. If you like the spice, you might not know if you like the spice or not. And then from Groovy, we have their sangria. So same thing. You could just pop it, pour it in a glass, add some fruit, and you feel like you're having a beautiful cocktail.
I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to. All right. So moving towards the end of the table, we have 2 different spirit options. So if you still like the idea of like making a cocktail, from Ish, this is their botanical. So it's meant to mimic a gin. So this is a little bit like a gin and tonic situation. And then from the Pathfinder, this is sort of like an adaptogen meets Amaro sort of thing, right? So it's like having a G&T.
That's what it tastes like.
If you smell the bottle, it's like it smells like gin. And then from Pathfinder, we have their Amaro situation. So you would literally just give it a little chill, pour it, add a twist. So this would be like a digestivo situation if you like Fernet, if you like that sort of like darker, bitter, end of the meal category. This was probably my favorite.
I think it might be mine, too.
Didn't you recently have your first espresso martini with us?
I got you hooked on espresso martinis.
I fell in love with them.
So they're not the easiest to make, right? You got to do it with the coffee, you got to do it with music, you got to do it with all the things. This is actually coming in a sachet.
What?
The entire cocktail.
What are you talking about?
I know, it's very confusing. I was confused when I first saw the product.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The entire, so smell this. Give that a
So
that a
it's
sniff.
like a tea bag.
It's like a tea bag.
And you let it seep.
You let it seep just in cold water.
Wow.
Does it not smell?
And it smells good and it tastes delicious.
good. And also, I don't know if you see, it's foamy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually, we shook these a couple minutes ago, and it's still got that nice, thick foam layer to it. It's from a company called Say So. They've got about 10 different cocktail options. This is their espresso martini. I also brought their skinny, spicy margarita. All you do, you put it in water, you steep it. I know, I was like, my brain was
I know, that is mind-blowing.
You steep it for a moment in cold water, and then you just pour it over ice, shake it, and put it in your drink, or in your glass. But here's the thing, if you're doing dry January, you would do about 5 ounces of water. Yeah. If you get past dry January and you're like, I really like these, I'd like to keep my life easy in terms of like citrus
how to
and
make
coffee.
it,
You just switch it to 2 ounces of booze, 3 ounces of water, and do the same thing.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. It's
By the
really,
way,
really brilliant.
This was great. This was great. Thank you, Vanessa.